Yes.
We're back again.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, we are. There's 4 people around this table. Apache, Heredika, Rupinder, and myself. You got Apache, you was around way before social media became a thing.
Yeah.
Then you got Heredika, essentially you're trying to break into the scene. Your social media is essentially like a business card where you kind of put your portfolio on.
Yeah.
You got Rupinder, who at one point on social media had a massive following and removed everyone. And now just keeps it to her immediate circle.
Yeah.
And then you got my view, which is literally from a social media management. So, you know, looking after companies, artists, etc. The question I want to ask is the impact of social media and the entertainment industry. Is it negative, or is it a case of you need to have it now to succeed?
Well, I can tell you that when it first came in, it was negative.
Yeah.
It was negative for an artist that was earning a lot of money in record sales, for example.
Yeah.
13 and 14 and 15 pound for an album.
Yeah.
Which then became 79 pence for a song.
Yeah.
And so the business model didn't work for us. So
Yeah.
a song cost a couple of grand or £5,000 or even £500.
Yeah.
So the business model doesn't work now that you can go and buy that something. So it crippled my industry.
Yeah.
I used to earn a lot more money from record sales, and so it crippled it down to personal income. No one came and compensated me
Yeah.
and said, we've created this thing, you've lost that much thousands of pounds every year.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? So it crippled me, but I was in the business, so I had to ride that wave.
Yeah.
So the people trying to get into the business, it's already a business model technically that doesn't work, because
Yeah.
you have to do things that, and where's your money in that model? But music doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So it made that much of an impact in the beginning to me, but then I had to get used to it because you have to use it. So yes, you can get out to the world,
Yeah.
your music easier, but it's okay for Apache Indian because he's got his name.
Yeah.
But for this new person, you're one in a zillion,
Yeah.
and you get lost in the crowd. If you're like, how can you stand out on social media?
Do you think, and this is for you guys, like you're growing up, you're coming into this industry, social media is now important. If you don't have social media, you don't have a platform to build off of. So an artist, for example, an artist can't just release something, or a model. She can't just kind of put herself out there and apply for jobs. She needs, or he needs to kind of have that Instagram page, that TikTok page. They need to have thousands of followers, thousands of likes. You know, they need to build their individual brands. Like, what is your kind of view on that? Like, is social media kind of now impacting the mindset of the generation coming up? Or is it a case of you need to kind of learn how to manage social media from reality and what you're kind of presenting out there?
I think it's both. Like, for me, like, there's some models and they've been on like billboards, they're like big time people, but they don't have a lot of followers. But then some people, like even like trying to be entrepreneurs, starting a small business, people will say, well, why don't you have Instagram? You need it. Where is your digital presence?
Yeah.
So it depends like what you're trying to gain.
Yeah.
And I feel like, so because social media's been made so big, it's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you have it? Like, you can connect with people, you can share your portfolio, you can just like make connections and put yourself out there. So like, for example, for me, I don't necessarily know all of my followers.
Yeah.
But sometimes I see it as it's a connection. Like, cool, like I don't even know who you are, but we're a connection now, and like you're helping me. So sometimes, I was telling Rupinder this yesterday, I was like, sometimes it's mad because some people, they've sent me stuff like, oh, you know, model needed or this person needed. And it's like, whoa, like, I respect that. Like, I don't even know who you are and you're kind of helping me.
Yeah.
It becomes like a connection base. And I feel like if you're trying to make it in that side of things, then it's really useful.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. So you've kind of got a platform, right? You've got a massive following.
Not that big, but...
It's pretty big, right? Now, as an individual, you have a power now as essentially an influencer, right? So an influencer is somebody that has a pretty big following.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, as an influencer, do you kind of feel it's your responsibility to kind of share things that need to be spoken about? And the reason I'm bringing this up, and like, I'm not going to kind of build up to it, I'm coming straight to this point right now, is let's talk about the Kissan movement and the Kissan moment, right? There is people out there who have ripped off the culture in terms of comedy. They've insulted like parents, they've insulted generations. They've literally created a career of say dancing, which has a direct involvement with Bhangra. They have done everything they can to kind of take from the culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They've built these social platforms up huge. But when your social platform can be used to kind of basically spread the message, spread, you know, how people in India are being like beaten by the police, brutality, etc., and they're not sharing it. Why is it that they're not sharing that, but they will share something which is a bigger movement, a global movement. So you take from your own culture, you will mock your culture as much as you can, but you're not going to share the cause. You'll share probably one post just because everyone's kind of pressuring you or people are calling you out. But be like, okay, no, now I'm going to go back to putting whatever I want to put out. Because my brand is more important than, you know what I mean, the people that make me an artist.
Yeah.
Like, what is your views on that? Because there is so many people out there who've been called out, whether it's like your DJs, whether it's your TikTok, your YouTubers, etc. Said, why are you not supporting? You're taking from the culture, but you're not giving back. And it's a case of, okay, now you've been called out. Now, you know what I mean? BSD Yogi. Now I'm going to post something because, you know, just to save face. Like, what is your views on that? Like, literally, I want to know, like, from an artist, for example. As an artist, do you think your brand is more important than your people, as in the people that make you? Or do you think that you need to be there for your people who've been there for you to kind of build your career?
Well, you can see the evidence of Apache Indian right from the beginning, before social media, when I'm writing songs like Arranged Marriage, when I'm doing cassette, when I'm doing that first album. I didn't have to do that. That's giving back to the culture.
Yeah.
That's saying I'm Indian. That's saying that I'm going to do this and do that. But look at me, my name is Apache.
Yeah.
So it was always giving back. So when the social media came in, I just carried on with that work to say, here's a bigger platform, but now you know me. But if there's something I'm going to be, if something bothers me, I will put it on there.
Yeah.
And no one needs to force me to do that. It has to come from me.
Yeah.
I am going to, and I have put a lot of stuff for the
of course.
farmers, and they've asked me to go out there and asked me to do things. And so, and I've done it for other things. You know, I'm the ambassador for Diabetes UK. I work with young people with disabilities, include me too, charity in Wolverhampton, and homeless. So I'm going to continue to do that. Whether the platform for me was with music. Yeah. When social media came in, I just carried on what I'm doing. But people are not using that platform. You're absolutely right. They're using it wrong. But what I'm asking you is today is that who's educating them on to use this big platform? Did anyone go to school and learn about this platform that's being created? And the mental health that comes with it, and the porn that comes, and all these things, it's all used the wrong way. So why was the internet created without a law? You don't create something and create the law later. You put the thing together, you work on it, you make the laws that you can't rip off music, you can't have porn, you can't have mental abuse. But they didn't. They created a monster and then created the law afterwards. That's where they're wrong. Because these people are suffering mental health, or young people, which in 15 years' time, they're going to say, actually, here's a law. And here's a law. Why did they do that in the first place? So you can't just always blame the young person who's been given this. And wow, it's overwhelming. Who's taught you to use it properly? And who said you shouldn't use it and couldn't use it? The amount of bad things that have come with the internet doesn't weigh up the good. And that's where I say it shouldn't have happened until it was policed properly, lawed, and things put in place from India to America. How can this big, you know what, we only used to be young, they used to say that this machine's going to come, or this monster's going to come and take over us. That's what's happening. We have no control over the social media. It's bigger than human beings now. In other countries, they'll say, right, we'll ban this. You're not going to hear TikTok here. So hold on. You can have such a great thing, but someone can ban it in a second if they feel like it, because they didn't like now this. TikTok has been banned in some countries. Certain things have been banned in other countries. So this monster, some man in some country have power to stop it and start it and bring it down. One day they might just bring it down completely because too many kids are getting raped, or some girls are getting raped in a bus in India, or something's happening. Does it allow all the good things to happen? Does it justify it? So for every kid that suffered, or every girl that's happened because of that internet, or the bullying or cyber abuse and all these things, and it's crippled my music business too, because it's not made it about the business, is it? Is it about music? When I release music, and you heard my first record, Movie Over in the Chocolate, Don Raja, you think it's an Indian or a Gala or a Gora, but you didn't know my face. So you play it on the strength of what's there, isn't it? Now you can see my face in the internet. You can look where you haven't heard the music yet. This is what I look like. This is how many and you know what? When I have record sales, you know how much records you sold. And when you got followers now, you can buy them. So if someone says to me, I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to Apache. He's got 30,000 followers. I'm listening to him. He's got 1 million followers. He hasn't sold a record. A lot of young girls in the music business, they tell me, look how much followers I got, Apache. I says, yeah, but it's because you're a pretty girl. You gain all these followers. It's not because of your music, love, I'm afraid. These are following your music, but these are following because you're just a pretty girl. And they've got these 100, and they think they're good all of a sudden. They haven't sang a song yet. They haven't been away from the screen. So what does he say about the music business? What's he telling that person to do? I would say switch it off, make it about the music, and not about your pretty face, or your blonde hair, or your this, or your... So, because you're going to get judged, and you're not going to get played. But make it about the talent.
But what about, so these guys who basically, and what I'm trying to say is, these artists in our industry, these influencers who've taken from the culture, built platforms. right?
Yeah.
But they're not supporting their own people when they need them.
Yeah.
They're not supporting the cause.
Yeah.
Like,
They should question them. They should question what's your name for, what's your fame for. You got 1 million followers. What are you doing?
Yeah. But like you guys, for example, right? So you guys were like kind of like, what happened yesterday, in the riot, not the riot, but the police, like the brutality across India, how things were being shared. And a lot of people were saying, the same thing happened in America. Everybody jumped on that picture. Everybody shared that picture. The same picture, which has kind of happened in India.
Yeah.
Why is not everyone sharing it? Why is it a case of, I don't want to tarnish my brand. I don't want people to think that, I'm against. Like, what is stopping, you mean youngsters? Or even elders? Like, from your kind of perspective, what is stopping these people from sharing?
It's like what's fashionable and what's going to hurt its aesthetic, isn't it?
It literally, I feel like when people are there, you're saying, okay, one thing that you said earlier, you said influencers are essentially people with loads of followers, right? I don't think that's true. I think an influencer can be anyone, whether you have 100 followers or you have 100,000 followers. Regardless, you're going to be influencing someone. So that person with 100 followers might be influencing that one person that doesn't follow the person who has however many followers. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like in terms of that, like if you have got such a big platform, I wouldn't say obliged, but you have that responsibility to be able to share stuff that is happening around the world and talk about stuff like the Kissan rallies and obviously this police brutality. That's fine. Like, as you said, there was people who are feeding off of Punjabi culture and everything, and they haven't said one word unless they've been called out on it. That's wrong, because if you're feeding off of this culture, you're not saying anything about what's actually happening. Like, you're dancing because of these farmers at the end of the day, are you not?
Let me ask you a question, sorry, just for dancers, right? So Bhangra has a direct correlation with farmers.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many Bhangra teams in the UK.
Yeah.
Awesome. Spreading the culture, generations, all that kind of stuff. But who was actually supporting initially in terms of dancers when the movement first came out? And again, you can argue there's an education issue of maybe not every dancer was aware there's the relationship, etc. But again, there was enough information there. And do you kind of think like dancers are kind of like, I'm only going to post pictures of me dressed up in the full outfit because it looks good for the likes. I'm only going to do a routine for the likes and views, etc. But in terms of supporting the cause of the very farmers that have kind of laid a foundation for you, I'll post once and then let me kind of move on.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like a generational thing, or do you think it's just people prefer to take and not give back?
It's a bit of both. People, in our culture, as I said, we don't really support each other anywhere on many levels. And then there's a lot of taking.
Yeah.
There's not much giving back. And as I said, when I went to India as an artist for the first time, '93, I had stadiums full of like 50,000 people and 40,000 people and 65,000 people, and what I saw was 50,000 people sleeping on the street, because it opens my eyes to something different. So there's no social media, there's no phones and nothing. And I said to them, I want these people to come to my gig, and everyone thinks Apache's lost it. Why is he always running around the charities? We've got some big shit to do here, right? I'm not interested. See where I come from. I can't ignore this. So I used everything in my power, my platform, and you trust me, I set up my own foundation. You think Apache Indian Academy is new. Back in the day, Apache Indian Foundation helping the young and underprivileged kids in India.
Yeah.
And that's why I went to see Sonia Gandhi to get the permission to open it. There's pictures of me and Sonia Gandhi in there. So I'm saying I was using my name, my platform, everything, because things were bothering me. And maybe it comes down to the individual. I wasn't waiting for social media. I wasn't waiting for nothing. I'm a human being in my country, in India. Funnily enough, I've been around the world, and I went to India and I thought, this is so strange, because it's the only country that I can wake up and everyone around me is the same as me. Indian. Yeah. It may be simple, right? But the same colour as me. I think, how can I not care?
Yeah.
How can I not be affected by these kids on the street? And why are we ignoring these things? Because in this country, you may be third generation or whatever, and I'm older than you and whatever, but you still have work to do. So whatever our parents did, I can't ignore that, and I'm going to continue to build that house, and you have to continue to build. At what point did the younger generation stop caring? Because even some of the elders do, but we've got this mentality of working hard and supporting and doing things. You lot are not told the same thing. Not your fault. The media is telling you rich quick and do this and do that and not really care. People living in some kind of bubble. Yeah. Maybe they need to go out and get a real reality check. Because when I used to come back here, People used to talk about, look at mine, look at my car, and look at my... I said, I've just seen people on the streets there, hustling, little kids, 5 years old, hustling and trying to get some money off the truck driver in the middle of the traffic. And I said, in England, that's illegal. In India, it still happens. So if you're not bothered enough, I don't know. I used every single thing in my power, whether being on stage, and all those people, when you go on stage, Rita Molly said to me when there's 100,000 people in front of me, what do you say when you're on stage? Not what do you sing, what do you say in between? Use your platforms properly. And I swear, if we started A, being united as people, and B, using that platform the right way, we're going to blow... We can be such a strong culture.
That's
We're so strong in those movements because who's using the platform to it's individuals. It's not a collective effort. And some of the situations that we talk about, violence and domestic violence, we're not using anything that, like the farmers think, it's about awareness. When you work with charity, when you work it's awareness. If you're not bringing awareness to the farmer situation and you have that heritage, shame on you, especially if you have a name. Especially if you have famous, what are you doing? And it's like almost taking and not giving back to your fans, not using your position properly. So we really have to question all of us because we just got comfortable.
But let me ask you a question, right? Just on that. So we've all kind of like said, yeah, people in positions are kind of taking, not giving back, etc. And there was an interesting kind of caption I read on someone's page, and it had, we need to call out these cultural leeches.
Yeah.
And when this movement's over and we win, these leeches should be called out for what they are, and that's it. They shouldn't be given the same platforms again. But they will be, right? Because there was, for example, a few influencers I saw weren't supporting, right? A few months later, they're doing music videos, they're doing projects. These are the same kind of people. At one minute we're saying we're not going to give a platform for these people, but at the same time it's like, you know what, you've got a pretty big following, you might do good for me here.
Yeah, it's a bit of that.
You know what I mean? It's like my career is more important than people's lives.
But remember, that person who's got the 1 million followers and is famous, he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
There's no law to say you have to do something. It's his own conscience and his own thing.
Yeah.
But and do you really want them to do something just because everyone's telling them to do something? It has to come from your heart, doesn't it? Like she said, 100 followers or 100,000 followers. Where is it? Does someone need to tell them anything?
Yeah.
But really, they don't have to do anything. So this is down to an individual. What I'm saying is, in this country, we don't have that Asian governing or someone saying, you should do this and you should do that. So,
but do you need someone to tell you what's right?
It seems like it. It seems like it. Not me, but it seems like you have to educate people.
Yeah.
It seems like you really have to, especially our own people.
But how much can you actually educate when there are, like, I follow so many people who are posting about what's happening in India every single day, multiple posts. But then I have some people who haven't spoken. Maybe they've posted once in the last month or two. So how much more can you educate someone? Because when there is all these people who are posting to each other, and obviously I'm seeing all my followers posting like the same people again and again, it's just going round and round in a circle.
It's that bubble.
It's the bubble again. Like, it's going round and round in a circle. You're educating the same people. How are you supposed to get to those people who aren't posting or aren't
community?
Yeah, the other communities. Like,
these are the bits that are missing in our culture and our whole platforms. Because while that's happening, not only does it get better, it gets worse. Because now people are saying, well, the people that are out there, they're causing trouble. In India, and there's some people that they want to go home now because the youngsters are there's so much and there's a channel here in this country, I don't want to say the name, but people have told me, can you bring the channel down? Because they're supporting, and now they made it a religious thing, a TV channel. So it's made a bad situation worse, because that's what we do. We don't look at it and how to nail it. We don't have the people who are in positions to do something, some of our MPs and so on, they're representing themselves, they're representing communities. So where's our voice? Who is our voice? Where is that platform that everyone can say, let's go listen to that channel? They'll tell you. They're not biased.
This podcast, right?
I will literally say it's this podcast. This is the start of something that we should have had maybe a long time ago, but there isn't anything like it in the country. So at least people out there can be watching. Let's go reach out to them. Let's reach out to Taj and give him a subject, or let me try to get on his show, because this is really good. And this could be running for 10, 15 years with this big channel, with people, myself and yourself and young people. And this is what's been missing. So I think this is so good, but I don't want it to stop. You have to then show people about the discussion that we had in 6 months' time. This is what came from it. This is how we have now progressed, because we call that person from the FA in London, and we call this football team and say, well, why can't they get to that state? You know, whatever. That's what I used to do in my Real Talk show, really connect the dots and solve a problem, get rid of a blockage. We're not doing that. So if we do that from here, we're moving in the right direction. Yeah. At the moment, it's everyone's talking. We've talked for years. Action. The world changed. Yeah. And from this, we need action. So we've had that conversation. It was a great podcast, but you know what? This is what came from it. A month later, we changed this. Yeah. 6 months later, we changed this law in the country because of this. You know, and these victims or this whatever got saved. So now we are moving forward. And whoever's getting left behind, you better come and join us. Yeah. And they will join us eventually, because now that unity became strength and it became productive.
It takes one lion to walk that way. There's that many sheep.
Exactly, yeah.
And then the sheep will suddenly start seeing the momentum shift, and then suddenly they become lions.
Yeah.
But it's that first...
Where's the leaders?
Yeah.
When I did Real Talk as well, I did Real Talk for this channel, and I went to them and I said, you know what, I got this idea to bring people together, have discussions about, you know, this politics or whatever, music and whatever, and I'll get a band and everything. And I said, I don't want any money. I want to use your platform. Yeah. I swear on my life, I've never charged for any Real Talk show, and it became an award-winning show. I got an award from that, from the Asia Media Awards, and changed lots of people's lives. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about fame, because my name is what my name is, and I'm going out to community who know my name. It was about to use my name and use that platform. And even, I came to Brit Asia like a bully. I said, what are you doing? You're in Birmingham, you're a music channel. I got an idea, let's do it. And they said yes. If they said no, then I would have had a problem with them. Yeah. But I literally came in and said, I've got my name, you've got your name, people need this channel, what are we doing together? Yeah. And I bullied my way in, and we got a show. But I'm you know, that's how I do my things. Yeah. And you know, I was the first Asian DJ on Radio 1. I did it for 3 months. It was a Saturday afternoon, and they kept giving me all this pop music to play. Yeah. So you're using my name. I went and said, I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Another Asian kid probably says, yeah, I'm on Radio 1. I says, you know what, Mr. Matthew Bannister was the owner of Radio 1. I says, you know what, I was trying to get out of it. I can't do this anymore. If I was going to do it, I want to do it in Birmingham. I want to do it every Monday night instead of Saturday. I want to play Punjabi music. Yeah. I want Malkit singing everyone, live sessions like you do. Yeah. I want all the reggae artists. I want to do it in Pebble Mill in Birmingham. I thought he was going to say no. He said yes. And I did exactly all those things. So I use my name to help other people. Yeah. Radio 1 show. And all of those bands know they've been on it, from Shaggy to every Bhangra band here, and they all got paid. And they got the platform. So when you get there, people... share, and that's what's lacking. Because when we've had people in those positions, they can make a difference. There's not a lot. There's a few Asian people in some serious positions in this country. They're keeping it for themselves. They're not sharing or caring with no one, and that's what we need to address. And these are the blockages I'm telling you. We get rid of. We'll explode like a volcano. Yeah, because then social media becomes good. It becomes policed. It becomes, you know, we're all in touch. Even the last, you know, we had other podcasts about, it's sort of connecting the dots, isn't it? Yeah. The answer's there, and there. Let's do it. And it will make a difference with this generation, because my generation's helping, your generation's helping. Are we going to all now get it wrong? Yeah. We will get it right if we work together. The working together is wrong, and the one bad apple in the 100 is wrong. And there's one bad apple in big organizations, and the other 99 are doing really, really well. Yeah. But that one one's stopping her progress in her life. And I want to get rid of them. For sure. Yeah, and it's stopping our music, our culture, and many industries. What is it in our brains that we don't want each other to win? What is it? How can you change that in the Asian mentality? Why don't we want you to win?
Because you can't win.
No, but if I'm winning...
No, but that's the attitude.
Why can't we win together?
If I can't win...
Why can't we win together?
Why should you win? Exactly.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm winning. Right? I'm Apache Indian, I'm the thing. Why can't I ask you now, come and... I've seen stages around the world that you can... Or you can come and dance, or you can come and be... Yeah, why don't we share it? Because we want to be the man.
And going back to the whole social media perception, right? You look at all these pages, people put up flashy cars, money, I've done this, I've done that, da 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 da. But it's like, is that really you? Or are you just kind of creating a false image to kind of, please your own ego, to please people that you're never going to meet? You know what I mean? Like, why is the youth kind of like, this is what I got to be like, this is how I got to behave, this is what I got to do. I got to hire photographers and do a photo shoot and show me, like, living it up. When in reality, you're just hustling like the rest of us.
There is a lot of people who are just like, even you would say this, you would agree, right? That there's a lot of people who are posting so much stuff on social media where everyone's looking at them thinking, oh, like, I should be like that. Why am I not in Dubai? Why am I not driving that car?
Yeah.
Everyone's like that, but in reality, behind that screen, behind that photo, this person is probably going through the worst moment of their life. Like, you don't know what these people are going through. It's all an act at the end of the day. It is all an act. It could be fake, it could be not. Like, we don't know.
We're all very good actors.
Yeah.
We're all very good actors. Why don't we try to pretend, and, you know, if we're acting, pretend to be someone nice?
Yeah, and I feel like
you always pretend to be someone you're not.
It's
and
all
you're walking
built
around
into their
broken
heads.
and you're telling everyone you're happy. A lot of artists are not even earning any money anymore out there, but they'll tell everyone they're the best. And they're like, I'm all right. They go home, they're crying and they're dying thinking of it. Why don't you just be proud and upset? I haven't got any money. It's tough, but you know, I've been really, really famous and poor. Not poor, but not doing so well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell people that. I've had mental breakdowns and everything. You think it's all happy and nice.
So how are you so comfortable doing it? But then there's other people who are just not.
Again, it's like the duo, Tiger Style, the producers. They went on an interview, I can't remember who it was with, and they kind of asked him, like, oh, what's going on with you guys? And they turned around and said the money in the Asian industry isn't where it once was. Yeah. And they're both now policemen. They still do music on the side, but they kind of admit, like, you know, we're in the forces, and they explain why they obviously gone to the forces as well. Like, they're like the mother. I think their mum was a police lady. Okay. But again, these guys were straight up and said it straight. Yeah. They didn't sit there and be like, yo, we're making big boy beats. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. It's a case of, look, the money's not there because the way the industry's kind of moving. You know, you go to, for example, you release a track, a company's gonna be like, okay, have you got a video ready? Yeah. You haven't got a video? Okay, we're gonna cost you this much for a video. Okay, how much money for your fake hits? How much money for your fake likes? All that. So all that kind of goes into it. So you have, for example, artists saying, oh, in the first 10 minutes, I got 2 million views. Realistically, 2 million people watched it in 10 minutes? Do you know what I mean? But it makes other artists feel like, whoa, that's success.
That's success, yeah.
But in reality, is that really success? And again, the Brit Asia official music chart, that is based on genuine figures from iTunes sales, Spotify plays, etc. That's why Brown Boys is killing it, because Brown Boys is being played heavy rotation by people. It's being downloaded. That's what success is. But you look at Brown Boys figures on YouTube compared to some random, you know, artist from India no one's ever heard of. He's gonna have like 10 times the hits of Brown Boys. But in reality, that's real success. That's real numbers. And those boys ain't playing or acting like they're, you know what I mean? They're bigger than what they are. It's, look, we're in this game, we're hustling, we're grinding, and we're producing the results, and people are like, you know what I mean, relaying off of it. So do you think we kind of still have a long way to go, kind of drop the egos, drop the pride? God. We need to kind of... Yeah.
With or without social media, we got a big ego problem. And I'll go further to say that Asian people in this country, in my experience, that have got a little bit of fame, have a problem with fame. They don't know how to handle fame. Yeah. So if you probably grew up in Bombay, your uncle may have worked as a choreographer, he was in Bollywood movie, and probably not in this country. Because I've seen people, after my success, come to me in their 2 minutes of fame and been rude and disrespectful. Yeah. Probably 9 out of 10 people who became famous came to my face and were rude because they don't know how to handle fame. And that, when you go abroad, it doesn't work. And look at India. It was all Bollywood. But they come here, it doesn't work. Because they try to come here. I did a show with some Bollywood guys in NEC, and I'm signing autographs for the kids and whoever. And to the fans, they'd even say to the security guards, "Oi, come here, oi." Yeah. It doesn't work in this country. They tell you to, right? Yeah. But in India, it works. Oi, come here, you try to do that here, it doesn't work. Everyone's living in a bloody bubble. Yeah. I work, you know, on my new album, I'm just releasing a new album. I have kids from my academy who have never released a song. Yeah. So I'm sharing that platform. So as an artist, I'm trying to help the younger person on a song even. You put him in a video, take him on tour even. Ask, why don't we try to do things different? All those big artists in Bombay or in India who have 1 million followers, go and work with someone who's not famous. Yeah. They won't even bloody follow him. Forget about it. They think the social media is so great. If I follow him, I'm endorsing him. Follow the kid and give him a little chance on it. Yeah, yeah. If it means so much, you can't even press that button. Forget about record the song, you can't press that button. Go and look at my account. I'm following so many random people who have got 5 followers and 10 followers just because I think they're good. Yeah. They deserve a chance. And if that helps them, just a bit of confidence is not the answer to their life. But you know what? People are so stuck up themselves, they want to even follow the person just to help them.
Have you found that?
Isn't that true?
You guys trying to break into industry. Have you found there is an ego issue, an attitude problem? Like, you know, say you approach another female, influencer or model or for advice, she's not going to kind of carry you. She's going to be like, I done it myself, you got to do it yourself.
Wait, just going off Apache's point, I have so many friends who are starting off small businesses, clothing, makeup, bakeries, you name it. And then, so many people won't follow them back because, I've just... the followers ratio.
Yeah,
it's just that's stupid. I support.
I'm following Bourneville Fish Shop. I've never been there. Yeah. It's a fish and chip shop in Bourneville because the guy's a fan and I look at these things. It looks good. I teach at Bourneville College. I followed him. He goes, "Oh my God, you're following me."
Yeah.
I bet you his best friends ain't following him, supporting his shop. I want to support the shop. He's Asian.
This is the thing, right? So lockdown brought so many small businesses out there.
Yeah.
It does not hurt to like a friend's post.
Or share it.
Why don't they do it? Why don't they do it?
Ego.
Look at that. Where's the support? If you can't even support the little
your
ones,
friends.
If you can't support with the one like or one follow, how are you going to support the community and culture itself?
Yeah.
Some people generally won't like you or support you. You get that. Some people are just on your page to, spy on you, to hate on you. Fair enough. But then you have people in your circle, you'd be surprised, this is my circle. I expect you guys to share.
Have you ever experienced something like that?
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced you being obviously you popping off, you're going into this industry, obviously you've been in so many photo shoots. Have you experienced anyone close to you just not supporting you?
Yeah, but then I've just learnt don't have expectations. Have hope, but don't have expectations. Yeah. There's been times when I thought that person would have said something, but they didn't, and that's fine. That's fine. Good for them. But so I've just learnt, don't have expectations. Do what you have to do, and just make it to wherever you need to go.
Yeah, but it's for example, the first promo we dropped for the Brit Asia Podcast. I didn't actually ask people to go out their way and share it. It was a case of, look, this is what I've done. Some of the groups me and Rupinder in. This is what we've done. If you can drop a comment, it'll mean the world to us. Yeah. Cool. If you want to share it, it's up to you. But there was a lot of people that genuinely shared, were genuinely happy for you. Yeah. And there's some people so when you get me on the show?
Yeah.
Not even well done. Exactly. Where can I come down? When you get me on? It's well, come on, man. If we're in this together, you got to give a little to get a little.
It's because you get people who you haven't even spoken to in Lord knows how long, or people that you don't feel that you're that close to, but they're there supporting you. Why are your friends not what's going on there?
And look at the support we're asking for. We're not asking for an amount of money or tap on the back. We're just asking for a little press of your thing. Brands you so much to press that. So where's their head at? Where's their heart at? And then you'd ask him to help with community issues and cultural issues. They can't press that button.
But then again,
they might follow somebody of a different race and colour. It's probably because of your skin colour. Probably because you're our own. I ain't gonna support her.
Is that our own egos though, saying I did this? Where's my like for that? Where's my share for that?
No, but that's the thing. We're not expecting it. It's just one of them ones where you're taken aback because. Whoa, people want to support. It's not like I went there and told everyone, yo, share this, yo, put this on your story because I'm on it. No, it wasn't. It was never like that. Yeah. It was kind of just, okay, this has happened. I've shared it on mine, and then everyone's sharing it. I'm thinking, whoa, where's the support coming from? I never expected it to happen, but it's nice to have. It's not an ego thing, I don't think, in that sense. When you're not there asking people, do this for me, do that for me. They're doing it out of their own will, so it's kind of just do you know what? That makes me feel good.
Appreciated.
Yeah. So it's nice to feel appreciated though, No,
absolutely. And someone's watching you and someone's supporting you, raise your confidence, maybe give you a link. Guess who's following me? And all that just from that one button. So why wouldn't you do it? Yeah. I mean, I follow my kids in my academy, but I'm following the biggest artist in the world. Mm-hmm. So why can't I follow her? Because she's not important. Why can't I follow Zoe and AJ and just because they've got 10 followers and 15 followers, it may just raise their confidence instead of... So I don't like it all. Yeah, and no one's taught anyone how to use it, but it can affect your mental health. 100. How come I've got this? And how come he isn't following me? Mm-hmm. Like what she said, it's not really important, is it?
Yeah,
but it becomes important for some strange reason.
This thing about mental health and social media, right? It's a big thing.
It's toxic.
As in, one of the things was there's models who put pictures up. They've been photoshopped heavily. Like Kim Kardashian is a prime example. Yeah. A picture gets taken, she'll photoshop it, makes her body look great. Yep. So girls look at it and they're like, body conscious, why doesn't my body look like that? Yeah. They go to the gym, they're working out, they look great, but my body doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that. What are they doing is so different, right? Yeah. So I get that, as in, does it impact your mind? So you see these things online, why is everybody saying posting pictures photoshopped?
I don't follow them. Yeah. I literally don't follow celebrities like that because. Not
even celebrities, so-called, we keep using the word influencers.
Yeah. What is an influencer? Like, you know, I don't personally follow people like that because I know, like, it's just going to be detrimental. Like, I know who I am. I'm going to work this hard. I'm going to go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. I don't follow or consume that type of media because I know it's just bad for you. Why would you do that? Because you're not meant to, but subconsciously, and social media is made for comparisons, for that judgmental status. Yeah. So I don't put myself there. I don't.
Let me ask you a question. So you had quite a big following at one point.
Not that big.
Well, no,
I mean,
you had a decent number of followers, and then overnight you shot it. You deleted and removed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And changed your profile from public to private. Like, why did you do that?
I'm
not saying what you did was wrong, but it's like
no.
You've gone from being someone that's like being so interactive, so kind of out there, to now that's it. I'm closing
that's
my
the
door.
thing. I don't think I was ever really out there like that. Like, yeah, okay, I had loads of followers, but behind the scenes, I had about like 5 friends that I was trying with, you know, like me and my circle, it was kind of just like that. It was never, oh, I have all these followers, so you know what, I can't even go Tesco anymore, like someone's gonna ask for my like autograph. It was never like that. It was just, you know, like everyone's gonna assume stuff because, okay, you've got this many followers, you know what, she's probably stuck up, or she's probably this. The amount of times I got, like, if I was walking past and someone said to me, oh, do you know what, you're really nice, I thought you were gonna be really stuck up. Why? You don't know me. Like, what the hell?
Where did you get that from?
Yeah, where did you get that from?
You got rid of a lot of followers.
Yeah, so I don't even know. So it started in my second year of uni. Towards the end of it, I was kind of just like, I didn't have a phone for about like 2 months. I kind of just like shut off social media. And those 2 months, I can tell you, was the best 2 months of my life. I secured my placement, you know, it was a bit late, but you know, I got my driver's license, you know, like it was those 2 months where my mental health just, I didn't even know my mental health needed work. You know what I mean? Like, after those 2 months, I was like, yo, do you know what? This is good. After that, I started probably like posting a little bit less, whatever. It was only last year, just before the lockdown, or maybe it was during lockdown, I just removed everyone because I thought, it's toxic. There's stuff that people are consuming. Like, all of these people, who knows? Like, Nazar is a real thing. I'm gonna put it out there. Nazar is a real thing. Yeah. You know, you don't know who's looking at you. You don't know what's going on. Like, what's happening. There's been so many times where, like, say I've posted something and then right after something might have gone bad, and I'm like, what? Like, what the hell? Maybe it was like someone looking down on me, someone saying something. Like, you know, my mum's always been big on like, oh, nazar na lage, like, you know.
Big thing. From my eyes, a big thing. Just a bad intention from somebody. You could be sitting in a different country, just wishing you bad, thinking about. But how has he got that from what you've posted or made? Let me ask you a question as a young person, both of you. Yeah. Do you think you can set up a business without the social media?
I think you can.
I think it's very difficult now.
Difficult, but it's possible.
What business is it?
Anything. I mean,
difficult, but possible.
Generally, everything's social media, isn't it? I'm just saying, can you do it without?
Look, I've managed social media accounts for companies, and you can have a website, but website traffic is one thing. More people now relying on Facebook for their information, for Instagram and TikTok. So for businesses that rely heavily on their kind of website, as a small business, it's going to be very difficult for you to generate that traffic. Because if you look at it, this is your business right here, right? Yeah. How are you going to bring traffic to that business if you're just starting from scratch? So you are my friends. You're not sharing my link. How is this business going to get traffic? You need to create an input. So that would be your Facebook page. That would be your TikTok page, your Instagram content.
So what we're saying is we can't get away from it.
I think we're that heavily reliant on it now.
This one goes back to my first question and go back to you again.
Yeah.
When you was at school, it wasn't too long ago, did they teach you how to use it?
No. It came out, I don't even remember how this came about. I've had Instagram
this thing that is so important to business and futures and lives. No one's taught these. Like, these are young. You may know a bit more because you're in that field. Yeah. But this person now is going to suffer. His business is going to suffer because he doesn't have that skill or he doesn't know someone. Especially for people in my generation. I've had to employ younger people to help me to go on Instagram and this and that. I still don't have Facebook. Now I feel like coming off it. Yeah. Because it wasn't about that. Now people are judging me because I've got 30,000 followers instead of 3 million followers like this. But I've sold 11 million albums. Yeah. So, people are judging you and looking at you wrong. So, and then obviously you can get abuse, you can get this, you can get that. But the agents will say, you need to stay on that Apache because we've got tours. Yeah. And then the young artists, because I manage artists as well, unless you've got like 1 million followers, the record company ain't going to sign you. So it's just all this, it's gone wrong. So I'm saying if no one's teaching anyone and this come out without any laws, isn't it? It's wrong, isn't it?
But then
you should say we should pause it, make the laws around it, get the policing around it, and then relaunch it.
But the thing with like social media, right, is it's a results-based business. So for example, again, we go back to the term of influencers. When like some of these companies say to me, "Oh, this person wants to collaborate, etc., etc." For me, my first look at that person's profile is, okay, this is the profile for that person. How many followers have they got? If they got 1 million followers, I'm like, okay, how many likes are they getting per picture? If they're getting like 10 likes, 12 likes, 100 likes, that's not even like 1% of a million. Right? So it's like, well, no, because this person's going to bring nothing to your business. And this is what I say to a lot of people, like, you're creating these kind of, franchises, or you're creating these whatever. Cool, you're going to bring fake followers onto it. But if your content isn't reflecting your
but let me just stop you there for 1 second. Just 1 second, we carry on here, but it's illegal to falsely advertise a business. That's falsely advertising a business, but it's not illegal. Because again, it hasn't been policed. So if you put out an advert in a newspaper and you say you can do all these things and you got all these people, you have to. It has to go by facts.
The product, but
now everyone's lying to everyone.
That's fake news, literally.
It's everyone's lying to everyone.
It's fake news.
So you could have the 1 million followers and you can have lots of likes as well, but is he the right guy?
Yeah.
Because it could be all just nonsense.
Exactly.
There's so much things have come in the music business. Like we used to have MySpace. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And all that came, went. So everyone's having a little play with our lives. You know what I mean? Our music, that. And if you had lots of followers on MySpace, great. But how come it's gone then?
Yeah.
So all these followers on Instagram, what if that goes and something else comes? And there is other platforms now. So which platform's important? So we're all over the place with this because it wasn't, when it was launched, anything you launch, you have to have regulations, rules, laws. So you tell me that we're going to carry on without, we're not going to take a step back. This is going to carry on. Right now, someone's getting abused, someone's getting bullied, some cyber, and someone's lying to someone, some false information, the music's getting downloaded free. All this is good.
Like, I don't know if you remember Bebo.
Yeah.
So Bebo, I never used Bebo. Baby. And I remember one of my friends messaged me going, "Why are you not adding me on Bebo?" I was like, "I haven't got a Bebo account." I was like, at a point there was high five and Bebo.
Crazy.
And Bebo was like, add me. I was like, I don't have one. So I was like, okay, I'm going to create a Bebo account just to find out who this person is. Again, massive following. And I was like, if I kind of call this person out, he's just going to remove his profile. So I messaged a few of his top friends. And they're like, are you being serious that this person's lying that is you? I was like, look, I've got a webcam. If you want to chat to me on MSN, remember MSN? I'll turn on webcam, you can see me. And they're like, I've told this person so much about me. I've confided in this person. And it's like, you really don't know who's on the other side.
That's right.
Of that
It's
page.
scary. There's a whole side of social media that...
And you know when you talk about, when we was talking earlier in a different podcast about grooming. Grooming is happening. So that person that's messaging that girl who's 16, who's pretending to maybe be 17, is 57. You have no idea.
No, but that is, again, the dangers of social media. You know, look, I know we've covered a lot. We'll come back to this one. You know what I mean? The platform's here. We'll talk more about social media, more about support. But again, I just want to emphasize, like, to people, don't be so reliant on social media. Don't revolve your life around social media.
You got a company in social media?
That's different, bruv.
No. Okay.
But what we're talking about is the mental side of it. As in, like, don't invest your, like, everything, energy into it, because social media is just an outlet. You know what I mean? Real life is real life. Social media is social media. Tomorrow, if social media goes down, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
You can't just sit there and be like, my life is social media. If social media goes down tomorrow and you have a business, you need to then have that strategy of, okay, that's gone down. What's my next avenue? Is it door-to-door sales? Is it phone calling? Is it actually networking with people via emails and that kind of stuff? That is where I want to kind of emphasize on social media. Like, don't be reliant on it. And if you have, you know, the followers, if you have the kind of, you know what I mean? Platforms, that's what I was thinking about. Use it for the right reasons. Don't take from the culture. Don't abuse the people that got you to that position, and don't give back. You know, if there's anything you guys want to say with closing thoughts.
I was gonna, I can't remember what you just said, but I feel like so many people are just so invested in, like, oh, I've just lost 5 followers now. Oh, I've gained 5 followers. Look at your screen time. If it's like over like 5 hours, that's so messed up. And I feel like so many people, like our generation, they don't have hobbies anymore. Like, we like to do Bhangra. We like to go to the gym. We have like.
When was the last time you went on a walk, man? Like, leave your house.
We like to do paintings, like do anything. And it's like nowadays, if you say to someone like, "What's your hobby?" and they'll be like, "Oh, oh, I'm not sure, I just like spend my time on Instagram or
Lying in bed.
yeah. And it's kind of sad, to be honest. I went on a walk with my brother and we saw like kids climbing trees, and he literally said like, you know, that's amazing. I can't remember, I saw like the last time I saw someone like that. And it's just like, we shouldn't lose ourselves in like a device, in a phone. Like, we need to have our own lives.
Everyone is so consumed into this idea where everyone's taught, okay, you need to have a certain number of likes to be like cool. Yeah, you have this many likes. Oh, you're pretty. Like, you know, people are they're imprinting this stuff into your head. Like,
who made that up?
Yeah, who said that? Like here, like I was saying to Harithika last night. Here, we think that if a girl's walking around with a unibrow, someone's gonna say to her, "What is that on your face?" Yeah. You understand? There's a country in Europe, I don't know what country it is, but there's a country in Europe where girls with unibrows are seen as beautiful. So who's telling you to put like, what's it called, like a
filter,
not a filter, like a I don't know what the word is,
like a label on something.
Yeah, like a label on being beautiful.
Perception is different wherever you go.
Yeah.
Like city, country, and the fact that you're just in your own bubble based on your social media. Don't get too consumed about that, and don't let that like damage your mental health. Because there's a whole other world out there, like different industries.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
different
glad
people.
that these ladies are talking about that, because you know I grew up without the internet. You grew up with it, so you don't know what life is without it, do you? You don't know because you haven't lived in that world. Let me tell you how it's so intrusive into your life. If somebody calls me, I never grew up with a phone because we never had phones. Someone calls me on my phone doesn't ring. You message me first. If you ring somebody, that's rude. I think it's rude.
That's why he was late this morning, because I was trying to get through to him.
I think it's rude. You're calling someone, someone's supposed to stop what they're doing there and then. How dare you? You could be talking to your mum or your dad. You could be sitting in the toilet or bathroom.
Very guilty of just letting the phone ring.
So what I'm trying to say to people is that because there's no laws and there's no things, it's addictive. Yeah. It creates mental health. Yeah. But you know what? You do have a choice. Like you said, when you put it down for a second, you progress so much in your life.
Yeah, literally.
You realise there's a life outside that phone. You did well in education, you did well, because it consumes so much of your life. Because when you close the book, you can close the book. When you come back from the sports or the dancing, this phone doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
They're made to bring you in. They're made like
sucks you in.
Yeah, they're made to like make sure all you're doing is
You're
scrolling.
constantly on there.
Yeah, that's literally.
Yeah.
It's like first thing in the morning. The first thing 99% of people do is they wake up afterwards.
Yeah.
Grab the phone.
I'm guilty of it.
Open it.
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty sometimes.
Yeah,
I've been good about it.
You go to sleep last thing and let's go, because that's when people say, let's post something last thing at night, because everyone picks up their phone. So we're that trained to do that. But what if that post was something inspiring? Most of the time it's not.
Yeah.
So I say to people, use it, find the balance, and use it properly.
Yeah.
And don't let it take over your life. There's a life outside that.
Yeah.
And trust me.
On that note, that's a good one to finish off. Guys, pleasure as always.
God bless always.
Thank you,
Teamwork.
guys.